All right, let's hit straight to business. I'm doing this piece because one of the major reasons why we're existing as a company is not just to make money, but also to get feedback from the people. What are the people saying? What actually are the people interested in? What are the people's issues? What are the issues a lot of people are going through as far as the property chain is concerned? And very quickly this morning, I'll be paying attention on landed property. And this is because I went through my log and I realized the fact that a lot of people have actually called in the with respect to how to get secured property because of prior experience, maybe being jilted by an agent, a family member, a company, and so I begin to ask questions. Why is it that most of these people that carry out fraudulent acts as against what is expected, why is it that most of them are not jailed? Because you cannot just collect someone's money, deceive the person, and you know you are selling a fake property to the person and collect millions of naira, knowing fully well that it's actually not easy to get money, undermining wherever anybody is abroad in Nigeria. It's actually not easy to make money. So I decided to put this piece together for you. So you probably might have gotten a property. So it's an opportunity to probably go through your document. And if you have not gotten yours, it's an opportunity to highlight certain things you need to pay attention to. And I'll be paying attention to deed of transfer. Usually, when you want to get properties, a land, for example, you ask, okay, is the land genuine? They'll tell you, yes, the land is genuine. Don't forget that somebody owns that property. Somebody owns that property, and that person that owns that property must transfer the ownership of that property, of that land, to you. So if you probably just buy a land and the property is not transferred, the ownership is not transferred to you, then that means you have not done yourself good. Another aspect, even if you now have a deed of transfer, but is not legally binding, then that means you are doing yourself a harm. I mean to say that there are people who probably would want to get a property for 3 million or 4 million or 5 million, or as the case may be, but may find it difficult to consult a legal practitioner, a lawyer, to go through the process as a professional, give professional advice, and then detail a what? A detailed deed of transfer. Most people will say, no, I just know one place. They already have the chart. They will just prepare it, edit it, put your name, and that's all. Instead of go and give lawyer money. These cutting corners have put a lot of people into big mess. Into big mess. And so today I'll be paying attention on deed of transfer. What's a deed of transfer? Why is it important? What are the key components of a deed of transfer? So a deed of transfer contains various paragraphs. What I mean paragraphs, you have line 1, line 2, line 3, you have a space, line 4, line 5. For people who may not really understand what I mean by that, it contains various paragraphs with specific details and information. Specific details and information, the community where the land is, the name of the person who owns the property that is transferring the property, the address of the person where the person is living, and so on and so forth. A deed of transfer contains various paragraphs with specific details or information in comprehensive language. When I mean in comprehensive language, I simply mean that in a language that can be easily understood. A language that can be easily understood, a language that is detailed, a language that will not be confusing. Yes, that's what a deed of transfer is. And so what are the key components of a deed of transfer? First, you have the heading of the document. So I mean to say that the document must have an heading. The document must have an heading. The second aspect, second component of the deed of transfer is that the description of the deed of title. The deed of title must have its description. Now, this description is a portion that starts with the name of the deed, and so it must be accurate. The name of the deed, so you identify, okay, fine, what's the name of the owner of this property? What's the name of the owner of the property? Make your research properly, and trust me, if you have a distinguished law practitioner, a lawyer, legal personnel, trust me, that is into landed property, you will not have issues with all this. That's the second thing, the description of the deed of transfer. The third thing, the date and place of execution. The date and the place that the execution is taking place. You must note that. The fourth, the name and description of the title. The name and description of the title. You must note all of. I cannot be showing you all these, but trust me, if you follow detailed process by consulting a lawyer, trust me, you won't have issues with it. Yeah, the name and description of the title. The fifth, which is very important, the recitals. Now, when I actually mean the recitals, I simply mean that it represents a precise story of the property. A precise story of the property. So, why are you selling the property? Oh, Victor, I want to buy a piece of land. And then I said, okay, fine, I have a piece of land in so location. Okay, fine, this person is selling this. Why is this person selling? It's not a harm asking that question, trust me. Why is the person selling this property? Or the person is selling the property because he wants to sponsor his child tertiary education abroad. Or the person is selling the property because the whole family wants to relocate abroad. That is like one of the most recent reasons why people sell their property. All the family wants to relocate abroad, and that's why they are selling this property. Take note of that. The number 6, description of the property. Don't misquote these for the second one. The second was the description of the deed of title. The number 6 is the description of the property. Where is the property located? Get a full description of the property. Number 7 is terms and condition. What are the terms and condition of this property? And trust me, this point helps you to specify general and special arrangements. You can also get rules that are attached to the lands and also requirements. And then number 8, you have the covenant and the undertaking. Right here, this is where I think I am most um, I would not want to take for granted. The covenant and then the undertaking. This is where the oath taking is required, where all parties involved, whoever is selling the property, whoever is buying the property, the witnesses involved are signing the oath taking. But at this point, can I ask you a question? If it is true that the owner of the property and the witnesses have appended their signature on a particular document, and at the end of the day, you now find out that it was a fraudulent sale or transaction, as the case may be, don't you think there should be a law that should sentence those culprits to life in prison? To be very honest, I I am not taking it for granted because I may be harsh, but I think why would you, under any circumstances, swear oaths, lying to an innocent person because you feel that you have a superior knowledge at that point in time? And so you know that this property is not your property, but you went to forge documents and then you swear oath, signing that this property belongs to me and I have transferred it to you. And you know very well that this property does not belong to you. I think that it will be very, very, very important if this part of the constitution is um, probably paid attention to where anybody who falls under this category, falls short under this category, should face the law. Please note that there's a specific language that mostly only law practitioners would understand. And please take note of it. Now, when you are taking the oath, there's a specific language that you must pay attention to. So, the parties aforementioned hereby mutually agree with each other as follows. That language is very, very important. Number 9, the signature of the parties and the witness. Now that we have taken the oath, then the parties involved, the owner that just transferred ownership to the buyer, and the witnesses involved, we now attest by appending their signatures on the documents. And number 10, a schedule. Now, a schedule here is quite important because some persons may not understand. Without a schedule on your deed of transfer, then that deed of transfer is actually invalid. Yes, it's actually invalid. Why? Because the schedule helps to analyze the law of the land as required by a particular state or a nation, as the case may be. And so it actually gives us the ability to have a stamp that would be placed on the document. If you actually follow these 10 tips as actually read out, trust me, you will not be a victim of one who has been jilted by land grabbers and land fraudsters as far as the transaction is concerned. But if you ask me, how do you ensure that you are actually safe? Seek the services of a professional. Victor, is it true that in time past, professionals or acclaimed professionals have not also conspired to jilt a client? Very true. In time past, or even as the case may be, even presently, there are some acclaimed professionals who have connived and conspired to do what? To jilt a client. But trust me, I say this over time. Take your time to source for professionals that have histories on their job and the people that you can what you can rely on. Trust me, we have um, access to such professionals that we can present to you on our team. You can reach us on 07063151558. I roll over again 07063151558. Don't forget that my name is Remain Victor Ulisse. And if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button right about now to subscribe to our channel. Thank you and God bless you.